What's going on, peeps? It's Wrath here, hanging out today playing some Idle Heroes. Today we're here on the Old Daddy account because we're covering the new event, and sometimes I just like to do it on the Old Daddy account because it makes sense. Also, we're going to open things up here with a Big Daddy free heroic summon. Because why not? Give me that 4-star hero, beautiful. If that had been a penny or an Amon Ra, I probably would have just got kicked off the game or something. Like, nope, you're out. Can't have you being around. But whatever, whatever. Today, we're going to talk about the new events, kind of go a little in detail, or try to go a little in detail on new heroes. Don't have them yet, so, everything I'm talking about is speculation until I get them, which I will hopefully be able to get. I would hopefully, get like one E3. Ooh, we'll see. We'll see what happens. But the idea is we're going to go over and talk about kind of the basic stuff that we always talk about, skim through what's different in the normal events. Then we'll jump in and start hitting the anniversary event because it is a little bit different. And then we'll talk about the new heroes at the end because that's just kind of what I do. Boom. Value packages. The value packages are the exact same as they always are. There's nothing really different there except for now you got koi fishes, which I don't know if koi fish is like an actual breed of fish. To me, it looks like a goldfish. Maybe I'm just uncultured. Probably I am uncultured. But koi fishes, they're a thing. It looks like goldfishes to me. It's koi fishes, okay? You get some koi fishes. Koi fishes are used in the anniversary event. We'll talk about that in a moment. But yeah, value packages, largely the same as normal. Nothing really changed in there other than koi fishes. Hero lottery, the 2 new heroes. If you get the heroes, you get the gear. We know how this works. If you pull the hero out of your bag, you also get the gear. It works. Boom. Summon prizes. Now this is a little bit different, and it makes me a little sad, because I had saved up Throat to cooperate with I'm telling you, Throat, don't screw me like this. I had saved up 2,000 scrolls. I was planning to do a quad completion, but wouldn't you know it, they added another tier on for the Dark Hero. Personally, I think I would have just preferred they split the 2 heroes up and had, Penny in one event and Amon Ra in the other and kept it at 500. That's just kind of the way I like to look at it because, it's expensive. It's going to take a lot, and it really hurt. I know a lot of free-to-play players who'd been stashing up for a while. Some of them probably pushing 2,000 scrolls, and their 2,000 scrolls no longer is a quad completion. Now it's only 3. And that's all I'm going to be able to get out of this account on this event with 2,000 scrolls is 3 completions. So it does kind of suck a little bit. At the same time, the rewards are largely unchanged. You get the same amount of scrolls, same amount of orbs, except for in this case, you get Penny at 400, you get your relics at 500, and you get the Dark Hero at 650. You get like 1,600 koi fishes, I believe. What, 2, 4, 6, 8, 2, 4, 12 plus 4? Yeah, 1,600. Okay. Remathed it. 1,600 little koi fishes from each round of completion. So you can get up to 6,400 koi fishes from a quad completion, which is expensive. But yeah, everything else largely the same. Not going to go too into detail on that. We'll talk about the new heroes in a moment. Hero exchange event in the altar. There's Valkyrie. There's King Barton. Valkyrie probably the more prevalently bought unit because, well, she's better than King Barton. Unless you're building like a King Barton Seal Land team or something, I would say she's definitely the better choice to spend your altar stones on because she's a freak, and at E5, she's still a freak. It's thing. Grey Door's Blessing. This is the same as it always is. You forge gear into other gear using gold, using gimages. I would highly recommend you never ever do this one right here. It's not a very good value because you get 4-star gear pretty consistently throughout a lot of events. So you can just fuse that up into 5-star gear from the blacksmith and save yourself some gems, save yourself some gold, and then just start at this tier here and make that 5-star set a 6-star set, and then your 6-star set a 6-star class specific set. I would definitely recommend that you don't focus too much on going for class-specific sets too early. It is very expensive, especially for free-to-play players. 100 million gold and 4,000 gems can really eat into your savings account. I would say it's probably better to have, a couple of your team members, 3, 4 of them outfitted in 6-star gear before you really start focusing on class-specific gear. It does make a difference, but it doesn't make such a massive difference that it's worth the hugely increased jacked up cost early on. So I would say for sure these 6-star gear will do largely the same as class-specific with a few added bonuses you get from class-specific. So don't worry too much about that. With that said, breathe in your mouth. Here we go. The anniversary. Click. Here we go. So a couple of things, starting straight off the bat. If you're a VIP player, a dirty spender who spends dirty monies, like myself, you get extra stuff. Namely, you get extra scrolls. So free-to-play people, you get 3, which is the exact same you'd get in a normal Heroic Summon event. You still get the 3 every day like you normally would. But if you're a VIP, like if you spent 20 plus grand in the game, you get 10 per day. So good for you. Good on you. I get 7 per day because, like I said, I'm a dirty spender. I don't hide it. I waste monies because it's something I like to do. But nice little daily gift, nice little boost, I would say. For free-to-play, you're not really getting much of a boost, but you do get a little more gems per day, so that's nice. Moving over. Boop. We've got the koi gift boxes. These drop from your auto battles, and a thing to make, keep in mind here, they made it, pretty much hard to miss. It's right smack dab in the middle of the screen. This is a 2-week event, which means this is not going to go away after Heroic Summon ends. You will still be able to get koi gift boxes from the campaign, which means it's actually easier to get koi fish than if you tried to math it up like I did before and say, holy balls, it's going to take forever to get through this next little koi fish pond thing. It's not so bad, because you've got 2 weeks at least of getting your koi fish boxes. I would say the average person can probably average 150 to 200 probably easy koi boxes per day. So that's a decent amount of little koi fishes over the course of 2 weeks. It's not bad. Moving over. Throat, I swear to crap. We're good. So this event here, the Rise of Koi, also is 300 plus hours. I mean, it's going to last for 2 weeks. Rise of Koi? Are they rising from the depths? So they're going to take over the world? I don't know. But for this, essentially, there's stages. If you buy something from stage 1, you unlock stage 2. Buy something from stage 2, you unlock stage 3, etc., so on, till you get stage 5. But the rewards, not bad. You also get a little extra bonus reward for claiming something inside of this. The new Sleepless skin, I'm not going to lie, looks freaking awesome. Like, that is absolutely awesome. I love that. Like, if Sleepless was a better unit, that makes me want to build one. That looks cool. I'm big into it. That's sick to me. But anyways, to start things out, 600 koi fishes will get you through this. And I guess before we go jumping into costs here, we'll look at this, because the sachets are pretty important. This one's free. Everybody gets this one, no matter who you are. You just load the game up. You're going to get this every day for the week. But if you want to purchase these, you'll get more stuff and things. You'll get an extra 100 koi fishes per day, 4 scrolls, and a profit orb. And there's a cumulative reward up here, as it says. So tomorrow, if you haven't bought this sachet, or when daily refresh hits, everything in it's going to double. It'll be 8 scrolls, 2 orbs, 200 koi fishes. So when you buy it, you get all of that stuff. So if you buy these sachets on the very last day that they're available, you're not going to miss any loot. So don't worry about forcing these out as fast as possible. Sorry, my throat is just all kinds of goobery today. But yeah, you're still going to get all the loot you're going to get anyway. I'm going to go ahead and snag this one out because I can afford it. Give me that. Give me my sachet. Perfect. Beautiful sachet. Now, we're a little short on gems for this sachet, but again, doesn't matter. We'll get the stuff by the end of the event. It's totally good. But it adds up to being just a hair under 2,000 koi fishes from this over the course of a week. It's like 1960 or something. Plus, you're going to snag 10 orbs per day. Or not 10 orbs, that would be hot. 10 scrolls per day, which ends up being 70 extra heroic summons from this. Plus, you're going to get the 2 orbs every single day when you get both those opened. It's 14 orbs over the course of a week. And being that next week should be a profit orb event, that's going to be kind of nice. You're probably going to need those. So that's good. That's good stuff. Definitely, I would say worth the value, because if you just math out what it's going to end up being worth in 7 days, it's 28 scrolls and 7 profit orbs. The orbs alone are 3,500 gems with the orbs. And 24 scrolls is what? 8, 6, 3, it's 3,000 gems there. So you're looking at 6,500 gems worth of loot, plus the koi fishes, which you can use to also get loot, for a little under 5,000 gems. It's a good value. It's worth spending your gems on, in my opinion. So don't be afraid of that. Anniversary card, I bought it because it's cheap. Well, cheap in my eyes. But also, it gives you stuff, and stuff is always nice. So, gems, relics. A little short on the relics. I mean, it's only 30 relics, which is a little sad. If this would have been 4, it'd have been a hotter deal, but it probably would have cost $30 then, because that's how they do things. Who is this lady? I'm seriously questioning, like, is that a future lady coming to the game? I don't know, because she doesn't look like Amon Ra at all. Maybe I didn't look at her 6-star form or something. I don't know. Could be a thing. But back to this. Boom. Over the course, if you do like a quad completion in the Heroic Summon event, which means you are a saving pro or a spending pro, plus you've got your sachets for the entire week, counting in, whatever koi chests or whatnot you get, you're going to be over 10,000. The thing is, it's going to cost a lot to get all the way to the stage 5. 600 is going to buy you through the first stage, depending on what you need. The best value here actually is obviously the profit orbs. I mean, that's 2,250 gems worth of orbs if you go by the Aspen Dungeon, or 2,500 if you buy them solo, whereas 10 scrolls is about, was it 1,250? So obviously the much better option is to buy the orbs with this. It's just far and away a better deal. I would recommend you pick this up unless you're just all kinds of on point for this, because it does look cool. I'm down with it. But anyways, stage 2 opens up then, and you've got another 3 options. These do vary in price, but your extra bonus here is 10 heroic summons, which isn't bad. You've got the elite 5-star hero shard is the cheapest for 1,200. Depending on who you are, this may be worth to you to me, they're too RNG based to really put a lot of, stock in them, personally, because, I mean, it's, it could turn out to be like a Gru. You know what I'm saying? Like, Gru's not terrible, but he's not that great either. Whereas for 200 more koi fishes, you can get an orange artifact, especially for newer players. These can make a big difference. I mean, if this pops out as a fearless armor and you don't have a reduced damage artifact, that's a big difference maker for you in things like the Aspen Dungeon, in boss fights, even if you're having trouble staying alive. These can be a big deal. So I'd say this is probably they all kind of have potential to suck. Like the skin, it's a skin. It's not going to make a huge difference for your game. It's actually pretty expensive, and you can always just wait till it hits like a shop later and then buy it. You know what I'm saying? It's not like you have to have it right now. I would say between these two, if it were me, I would probably go artifact, but if you really need the hero fodder, it's actually cheaper and it would get you to the next tier faster. So don't be afraid to buy this if you really want to, but if you do get something like a Walter, don't blame me, because I told you that the RNG can be rough with these. You might pull a Valkyrie and you might just crap all over yourself and be a happy person. Could be a thing. So you know what I'm saying? It's risk reward, baby. Stage 3 opens up though, and then you get one of these suckers. You can either go an Elite Light and Dark 5-star hero. This is a big gamble because you could get something as good as Ada, which is actually in the next tier for 4,500. You might get something as good as an Ada for 2,600. Or this is Dark. Never mind, I'm a liar. Wait, this is Light and Dark. No, it's Dark. Shh. Not Ada. Aspen. Brain. You could get an Aspen or something, which is pretty hot. But you could also get a Sleepless. And then it's like, that wasn't so hot. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of those things. And this, I would say, is probably your safest bet in this area, is picking up Penny, the new hero. The reason I would say Penny is the safest bet is because Penny is going to be, I think, good in every area of the game pretty much. I think she'll be solid in both PvE and PvP and dual role very effectively. So I don't think anyone's going to regret building a Penny. You also get 5 orbs for picking anything out of this, which is nice. Not a bad deal. But the last thing here is going to be the skin for Amon Ra. And, I mean, is it really all that fantastic? I mean, it looks kind of creepy. Why does she have a needle? That is creepy. I don't like that. She's like an embalming lady. Hard pass on that chick. She freaks me out a little bit. But I would say your best value in this area likely is going to be this. It's the safest bet. You could go this way. You might get something good. You might snag that Aspen, which would be cool. But you also might get a Sleepless, and that would kind of blow for you, or a Dasmog, which, I mean, he's not awful, but he's not top tier either. So that's what I would buy, personally. Moving on, you got stage 4. You've already seen this. You either get to choose between Ada and Amon Ra. You also get 20 relics for getting to the stage, and you're starting to add up some cost here. You got 600 here. Depending on where you go here, you're either at 1,800 or 2,000. Moving over, now you're at like, 4,400 to 4,600 if you buy one of these. And moving up, you're at 4,500 here. You're like 9,100 kois, which is doable. Like I said, that's actually reachable with a quad completion. If you're free to play, it's going to be very tough, I would say, probably to get here, but I could be wrong. Next week might have koi fishes for the Prophet Orb summons or whatever. It might be way easier than I'm thinking it's going to be. I'm just saying. But I would say everyone can get to stage 3. This shouldn't be that hard to reach unless you really did not prepare for Anniversary and have not been saving scrolls, in which case you're probably not going to get here. You'll end here, and you'll feel bad about yourself. But I'd say most people will end probably about here. That's just my initial forecast. Of course, how next week goes, this place might be much more reachable. And this is going to depend on who you want more, Amon Ra or Ada. We'll talk about Amon Ra in a little bit. Everyone knows about Ada. Ada OP, Ada poop on everything. Ada's job, kind of. And they cost the same, so it's not like you're getting shafted to pick one or the other, depending on what you want. Moving over to the final stage, this is where the new artifact comes in, and the old artifact, the Punisher staff, comes in, and plus the 30 relics for buying this. They're also pretty expensive. 6,000 koi fishes, 6,500 koi fishes. It ends up bringing the total cost of the event to like 15,600 or something. It's up there. But the new artifact here reduces damage over time received, boost HP, and precision. Now you can you look at its max stats in the old area place down here. Boop, boop, bang, right here. It ends up, when maxed, reducing damage over time received by 70%, which could be really nice against things like Valkyrie, but if you have to spend a couple $100 to get this, I would say it's probably largely not going to be necessary for almost any build. Because, I mean, I'm assuming if you're running something like, the good old Adas, the good old Aspens, the good old Amon Ras, you're probably not super worried about damage over time too badly, unless they launch like a really nasty damage over time hero later. I mean, you never know. But I would say, unless you just really want to buy it and really want to spend your way there, unless you can get it for free, which I'm really doubting that's going to be possible, it's not something I would say it's like a must-have kind of thing at all. It just doesn't feel like it to me. But with that said, that's kind of the koi boxes out of the old way. It's time to talk about the heroes. So first, before we talk about the heroes, we'll look over here in the Ultra Shop. We'll get rid of that little turd. Don't know why you're here. You'll notice I have no 3 stars. I'm kind of getting prepped up for doing summons. We're not doing summons today. If I didn't say that, I meant to say that. I'm sorry. Anyways, boop. Valkyrie 6K, King Barton 5,500. You can obviously tell who the better offer is. Margaret. It's not Margaret. Don't buy Margaret. Margaret sucks. You say, you bought a Melassa? Yes, I did. Get off my back. Get off my back. I love Melassa. She's beautimous. Okay, she has 4 legs. It's awesome. Anyways, not important. Totally not important. Let's talk about the new heroes. So boom, we're going to start things off here with Amon Ra, because she was, I guess, kind of like the big thing, because she's the dark hero. Oh, yeah, okay, does Amon Ra 6-star look way different? That's 5-star. Where's 6-star? Right there. No. So who is this lady? Who is this? Is that a new light hero coming to the game or something? A new fortress hero? Just, is that guy coming to the game? Oh, I don't know. Weird. Whatever, doesn't matter. Totally unimportant. Back to Amon Ra. Boop, boop. Hate that. Get over here. Here we go. So for my preliminary look through of Amon Ra, my guess is she's going to be pretty much, she has no legs. Just noticed that. Not a single foot comes out of that. She got lopped off right there at the knees, and now she floats. That's dangerous. Look like she's smiling. That little wrap on her bandage looks like she's happy about things. I don't know, maybe I'm weird. Whatever. Looks like she's primarily going to be a PvP-based hero with the major focus of her kind of countering healing. So things like the Ormus Redemption Aura, Bell Rain, stuff like that she's going to kind of put a damper on the heals. I could be wrong on how effective she's going to be at it, but it seems like she might be pretty nasty. When you turn a heal into a damage set, that could actually take you from, being alive to being dead. Anyways, what she does. Her active skill, 200% attack damage against the frontline enemies. It's only frontline enemies, though. There's no T in there. It's just frontline. 70% chance to petrify the target for 2 rounds. That's not bad. Pretty solid crowd control chance to the frontline enemies. That can be, pretty nice. Again, very PvP related there. Gives all allies 2 layers of the Shadow Guardian, the Guardian Shadow thing. What it does, it offsets the next received damage and turns 100% of the offset damage into the effect of being healed. Which is kind of nasty. It only works once, so when you get hit, 1 layer goes away, and then whatever. Monster damage and passive skill damage apparently goes through that. So I'm not sure if that would include things like Valkyrie's percent of HP as a passive. I don't know. We'll see. But either way, I assume it does. But whatever. Turns an effect of being hurt into being healed, which can be really nice, especially if someone like Aspen at E5 drops an active skill on your team and you're at like half health. Instead of that doing 7 million damage or 10 million damage and killing a unit, it's going to heal it pretty much back to full health. So in PvP, this lady's looking pretty nasty with her active skill alone, and I'm not really 100% sure how you'd counter her other than maybe just trying to stun the balls out of her, make sure she never gets a chance to attack or something, because that seems pretty nasty. I'm not going to lie about things. That could be rough. Anyway, first passive here gives her HP, attack, damage reduction by 25%, and a whole new thing we've never seen before. Her rounds of being controlled is taken off by 1. So if you get her with a 2-round Petrify, it's only going to last for 1 round and she's free the next round. That seems really rough. When it comes to PvP, especially if you rely on things like crowd control to work for you. Things like Aspen's Horrify is not going to be effective against her. Stuff like that. When you get that 1 round of Horrify, then she's back. She's like, okay, I'm doing good. Now, she's not the fastest unit in the game, which I think that might play to your benefit, is getting fast crowd control on her can still stop her from going that round. But it's not going to be as comfy and cushy as it usually is, where you get 2 rounds of them not being able to do something. So that's pretty nasty, it looks like to me. Moving over, when any ally releases a skill, she's going to drop 200% of her attack as damage 3 times against 1 random enemy. So somebody out there is getting 600% of attack as damage just kind of slapped onto him in the face. And that can be kind of nasty as well. If that picks a low health enemy, it might be enough to kill it, in which case that's not good for the enemy, because they're probably dead. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. We'll see what kind of damage that actually ends up putting out. But paired with already reflecting damage pretty much or well, not reflecting, but turning it into heals, which makes your team super tanky, and then dropping that whenever, like, if you get 6 skill casts in a single round and your team's not crowd controlled, that's a potential for a lot of freaking damage to go down in one round. I'm just saying it. For a support-based unit, that seems pretty offensive. And then you've got this last thing here. Her basic attack is going to curse enemies 2 times. Each time they get a healing curse. So when they heal instead, it gives them 100% of the heal as damage instead. So that's kind of nasty. Obviously, if the deer heals you, though, it says that's not going to be changed. It still heals you. So that's kind of nice. But overall, that seems pretty rough. When you take, I mean, because she's kind of like weird. She's like yin and yang, but Egyptian yin and yang. So she turns damage to healing for your friends, and she turns healing into damage for your enemies. Now, it doesn't hit the entire enemy team, because that would be really disgusting. But it does put it on, I guess, 2 random enemies, or 1 random enemy. So someone's getting screwed, but not the whole team, whereas your entire ally team kind of gets the buff from this. This one's not quite as dangerous. It's still bad, because obviously that can get you killed. But her basic attack is much less scary than her active skill. So draining energy might be a big way of dealing with Amon Ra and keeping her from keeping this like splaft on your team and just destroying your life, because it'd be bad. But yeah, overall, I'd say she's primarily going to work better in PvP. This passive would probably give her decent damage in PvE. This might give her your team good survivability against guild bosses, like the Pray for Fire bosses. They're a little bit tough. Again, this might be something that works pretty well there. I don't necessarily think she'll do very well in the Aspen dungeon. I'm not getting that vibe. I could be wrong. I just don't really feel it coming from her. But yeah, I would say she probably put out okay damage versus bosses, but I don't think she's going to compare to the next lady on the list here, and that is the old Penny monster. Get over here, Penny. She didn't move very much. Can't really do sound effects for that. Okay. Whatever. So she's not my favorite looking lady. Okay, I'm not going to say that. She's not my super jam. I mean, her knuckles look pretty cool. I wouldn't gonna get punched by that or shot by this, I guess. But overall, she seems like a really effective unit, not just in PvP, but also in PvE. And I kind of like that. So that's why I say like Penny is going to be a pretty safe build for a lot of people, because I don't think you can really go wrong with her. Let's start things out here. She's already faster than Amon Ra, which is weird, but not bad. I'll take it. Let's get into it. So her active skill does 450% of her attack as damage against the enemy with the highest HP and burns it, dealing an extra 150% of her attack as damage per round for 6 rounds. That's a lot of rounds of damage over time. That means it stacks very effectively on itself and can get to pretty big numbers. It grants herself 1 layer of dynamite armor. Essentially, dynamite armor stops you from getting controlled 1 time. So when a stun hits her, pops her dynamite armor, and then she doesn't get stunned. Not bad. Seems pretty powerful. I like it. But the big thing here is that's a huge amount of damage. 450% of your attack as damage, I think, is the highest in the game. Could be wrong. And a 6-round damage over time. Being this targets the enemy with the highest HP means in PvP, this is going to hit Valkyrie pretty much guaranteed the first time it drops, which is a pretty nasty hit to a Valkyrie. And then you put a nasty little burn on her on top of that lasts for 6 rounds. Not a bad deal, okay? Seems pretty tough. And in PvP, again, not being crowd controlled is nice, but there's definitely bosses in PvE that are nice to dodge crowd control on. Don't get me wrong there. So the active skill alone seems pretty powerful. Her attack stat's not crazy high, but we'll talk about that. I don't think it really matters here in a second. Boom, first passive. HP, attack, 30% crit. That's nice. That makes it much easier to build a unit for crit, obviously if they have a passive of 30%. Plus she gains a native 100% precision. That's nice in a couple of ways. If someone's running Horus as their main unit with a bunch of HP to block with, she's going to go right through that block. And if he's got the highest health, he's going to eat some serious damage. He has faction disadvantage, plus a huge amount of damage coming in. But really, precision boosts your damage no matter who you're attacking. It gives you, 0.3% attack per point of precision or so. I can't remember what it was. There was a formula a while back. It's out of my head now. But it boosts your overall damage output just because. And that's kind of nice. Second passive here, her basic attack targets frontline enemies, dealing 180% of her attack as damage, gives herself a layer of reflection armor. What this does is when she takes damage the next time, it offsets 50% of that damage from her and sends it back to the attacker, which is not bad. But even on top of this, what I think is even more important is right here. Well, that's definitely important. That's a tanky skill right there. It's not bad. She boosts herself by 40% crit damage for 2 rounds. That's pretty nasty because she already has a nice little bit of crit. Giving her crit damage as a passive means you can stack this lady to have some pretty disgusting crit damage and pretty nasty crit, which I would say means this active skill has the potential to hit absolutely ridiculously hard and become very, very nuke friendly. We'll see. It's not going to probably drop 30 million damage in PvP in one shot, but who knows? Who knows? But you know what I'm saying? It seems pretty nasty. Last passive here, every time she crits, she deals an extra 100% damage against all enemies and gives herself a layer of dynamite armor and reflective armor. That's pretty disgusting, especially like I said, being that she has a natively 30% crit chance. Plus, being a ranger, rangers don't get crit, do they? I don't think they do. I don't think they do. Let's look at the tech ranger. You don't get crit. I didn't think they did. I knew there's one class didn't get crit. It's Ranger. So she doesn't get any passive crit, which you might say, well, that's bad. But really, you throw a crit stone on her, she's going to gain 50% crit damage, 20% crit. That puts her at 50% crit chance right there. And any crit-based artifact, if you wanted to run one, obviously you get up to like 70%. So it's a pretty good crit chance. Either way, when she does crit, she has extra damage and adds that armor layer to herself. And this is why I think she's going to work pretty well anywhere. You want to take her into boss fights. She's got the damage. She's got the damage over time. She's not going to get controlled nearly as easy as other units will be. So things like the gold broken spaces bosses won't be as big of a problem for her. And she has extra damage versus them because she's Fortress. And then you got the things with the reflective armor, which just pretty much makes her tankier. And at the same time damages the enemy, which is nice. Help padding her damage there. Boosting crit damage. High native crit. High precision. It seems like she's going to be a nasty little lady no matter where you put her. You put her in PvP, she's going to do some pretty good damage. She won't get controlled very often. We'll kind of see, obviously, how things play out. But I think she'll be sneaking into the Redemption Auras a little bit more. And if Amon Ra gets really popular, you might see Ormus fall out of the Redemption Aura and Penny take his place to kind of get, because that heal might actually backfire on you a little bit. It may not, like I said, because her heal block is only against one unit, so you might still see Valentino and Penny together. We'll see. But I would say she'll probably make an appearance in Redemption Auras in the top. That's just my guess. Could be wrong there. I would say she will. Kind of like I think Amon Ra will definitely be making an appearance against people that use healers up in the top ranks. So if you got Belrains and Ormuses and stuff, and people are struggling against that, you'll probably see Amon Ra come in. But even when it's not against Ormus and Belrain, Amon Ra's active skill is still pretty disgusting in healing your own team by offsetting the damage you receive. So I think she'll probably get pretty popular. I feel like there's no reason she wouldn't. She seems pretty strong in PvP for sure. But there we go. That's the new heroes covered. I would say if you're a free-to-play player, obviously dark hero builds are going to take you a lot longer anyway. I would focus around Penny if you can get enough copies of her. And since she is the earliest one you get in the event, so even if you can't do a full completion, if you can do down to 500 or 400, you still get a copy of Penny. Plus you get a copy of Penny from the old koi fish pond in the 3rd anniversary event. So you can, even like I'd say a free-to-play player is completely free. As long as you planned at least a little bit for this event, you should be able to build an 8-star Penny, almost guaranteed. And that's not bad. That's not bad. Especially since next week is Orb event. And if you guys don't know, in the week following Heroic Summon event, the new heroes do get added to the loot pool and Prophet Orb. So you could Orb in Fortress and try to snag a Penny there as well. But like I said, I think everybody in the game will benefit from building a Penny. I don't think everybody in the game is going to benefit as much from building Amon Ra, which she's not over here, so I don't know why I clicked that button. It's dark. You get it. But yeah, feel like she's mainly going to be pushing PvP, whereas Penny feels pretty well-rounded, where she can do nasty PvE damage, but also do really well in PvP. We'll see. We'll see how the future holds. That's my initial guesstimate. Again, take this with a grain of salt. I don't have these heroes at E5 yet. I don't have any heroes at E5 yet, because I'm a peasant. But yeah, I would say wait it out. Someone's going to have these E5s. I guarantee there'll be some videos up, probably today even, about E5 Penny's performance and E5 Amon Ra's performance. Definitely give those a check out if you're really worried about extra stuff. That's just my initial assessment. I don't think it's too far off. Usually I'm not super duper far off. I can usually guess at least within a ballpark how a unit's going to perform. So I would say, like I said, Penny's probably the safer all-around build, with Amon Ra being primarily focused in PvP. But that's the new events. We're not going to drop summons today because we're already like 30 minutes in, and I've got a lot of summons to do, and it's going to take forever. So most summons are opened at one time, 2,000. It's going to be crazy. But that might be tomorrow, dropping the 2,000 summons, so it could be a deal. Hopefully we'll get enough. If I get enough pennies, I'll probably replace Shia. I'm thinking. It's something I kind of want to try, because I've already got a Ranger set just kind of hanging out somewhere. No, I don't. I have it on another account. But, so I'll have to make a Ranger set. Not a big deal. I can do that. Not a thing. Not even a problem. Don't worry about it. But there we go. That's going to be the coverage of the new anniversary event, at least for this week. If there's new stuff comes in next week, obviously I'll cover that next week. We'll talk about it. But there you go. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you liked the video, please make sure, smash that thumbs up button and show your support, and I will see you guys in the next one.